Welcome to Backyards and Bevvies. Grab your favorite bevy, pull up a chair, and enjoy the ride. Hey, B&B fam. This podcast is sponsored to you by BetterHelp, H-E-L-P. Is there something getting in the way of your happiness? I know when I traveled the world, I had many days where BetterHelp's worldwide service of licensed professional therapists could have helped me speak to someone no matter where I was in the world about whatever was happening with my life, and with zero judgment. With their ability to match me with a therapist that best fits me, I know my mental health would have been way better back then. Believe me, I needed it. But I'm here to share a way for you to take back control of your mental health by telling you about BetterHelp's awesome services they have for you to talk with a pro about your life through their app or just online. Whether it is a video session or some simple messaging, their team is here to help. I went to check out the app for myself just to see how easy it was to use, and after a series of questions, I was told I would be able to start matching with a therapist in under 48 hours. And what is super rad is that it's affordable and they even offer financial aid too. So come join the 2 million users that have already been helped and gain back control of your mental health by visiting betterhelp.com/backyards for 10% off your first month. Remember, BetterHelp is therapy done securely online. Don't forget to use the special code BACKYARDS and let BetterHelp, H-E-L-P, help you to start living a happier life today. Welcome to Backyards and Bevvies.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Happy New Year's, everyone.
I'm PK.
And I'm
This is
BK.
And we are your hosts today.
Why are you talking like
We're
that?
the hosts every day. I don't know. Oh, it was the new year,
It was
new,
weird.
not new.
Yeah, I
we're
don't like
same,
it.
Yeah, same show.
Same show, same people, same show.
We're actually
Different
recording
year.
New Year's Eve, though.
Yes, it is New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So happy early New Year to all of you.
magic, early. Hey,
Cheap.
by the time they're hearing this, though, it's already been like 2 weeks.
2
in.
weeks, yeah, but that's
So,
okay.
But cheers.
Happy New Year anyways. Hope that your 2023 is off to a great start by the time you hear this.
Yeah, I'm. How many of you raise your hand if you've already quit a goal?
Hopefully no raised hands.
But we always, it's really cool because we have gone through a giant shift, and I'm sure some people are sick of hearing us talk about goals, but they do run our lives. We do have a lot that we are trying to shoot for in the game of life.
Yes.
So if we didn't have them, we'd be kind of screwed.
Yes.
And I say that in the nicest way. So, but today though, we're going to talk about something different.
Oh, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, because today's like a let loose day for us.
Yeah, we're so excited
I mean,
because I
it's-
have to go back to the office on Monday.
Yeah, and it's New Year's Eve.
It literally brings tears to my eyes thinking about leaving you
I
and the
can't
Nuggets.
Oh no, for the New Year. Sorry, I thought you were.
I hate you. Thanks, though. You kept me from crying because now I'm just angry.
You look a little mad.
I'm spewing venom at you from over here.
I'm really terrified now about that wig comment you made earlier. That now I will see all the book money go to wigs.
You
I'm
will.
kind of freaking scared.
But only if I went bald. We had a very weird conversation before we started recording.
Yeah.
I
Well,
digress.
Yeah, and it's fun to talk about all the stuff that we do, and it's fun to go down that the route of like, what do we have going on? Where do we see ourselves in a day or a year or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a let loose day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a treat yourself kind of moment in
Mhm.
life, where tonight we are going to celebrate another great year. We're going to celebrate on the couch.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be awesome.
I have a feeling for the next like 10 years I'm okay with sitting on the couch celebrating New Year's.
I'm fine with it.
Everything's just like, it's all expensive anyways, and it's not even really the expensive part, it's just like the crowds, and I've
Well,
always
my dad
been in
always
crowds.
calls it amateur hour.
Yeah.
It's New Year's Eve, just because like
It really is.
everybody goes out and everybody gets annihilated, and the party doesn't really start until after midnight.
True.
So people are out real late,
Yeah.
driving wasted, just being wild.
Yeah.
I mean, I love a good dress up New
Yeah.
Year's Eve party, but
no,
I can
for sure.
handle.
Let me help you here.
Oh, thank you.
No, you're it looked like it was pointing upwards.
Oh.
I just wanted to make sure your mic was in a good spot. Sorry.
Thanks.
That was my bad from earlier.
Yeah, way to go.
What is amateur hour? I mean, but
So we're just gonna have drinks here.
yeah, so we're gonna
Put the kids to bed and
I will say this, though, that, looking into the future, I would like to actually spend New Year's in a different country.
It would be really cool to spend New Year's somewhere else.
Just seeing the...
Maybe Australia, because it's warm.
Well, yeah, like Australia would be really cool. They always do the Sydney
Big
Bridge.
Fireworks, yeah.
And,
That'd be neat.
and Australia is beautiful, too, so... And we like this new show from Australia.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
Wow, that's weird. Like, all of a sudden we say, like, yeah, it'd be cool to do this. And the next thing you know, it's like, oh my gosh, Australia has, like, consumed our lives. My friend from Australia is becoming a pilot.
Yeah, so cool.
And that's a thing to be celebrated right there. This guy literally, I was a roadie with him 3 years ago. And there's a goal right there. He started by flying little prop
We started,
planes.
like, studying and stuff during the pandemic when he was just stuck by himself.
He is literally going to be flying cargo jetliners in the next 5 years.
So cool.
So cool. And that was one of his goals. That was just like a dream of his. He just loved airplanes. And so, but he's from Australia.
Yeah.
And he's always like talking about how I just want to go back, mate. I want to go back. And he lives in LA and he can get on a route. LA to, I think, Sydney.
A flight path.
Yeah, correct. Doing cargo runs.
Very
so that means that
cool.
he can go home and see
that'd be
family
awesome.
way more. I mean, it's just such a cool story. But I think Sydney would be a cool one just because they do that big celebration.
I'd like to
Yeah, New Zealand, places like that where you just don't go. Dubai,
That'd be crazy.
just because they do a giant thing around that the tallest building in the world.
Right.
I forget the name of it now. But you know that there's
Burj Tower or something like that. We're terrible.
Not here.
It's not here.
That building's not in this city. But it's a cool building, and they always do like an amazing lighting show and video. They like video map the entire building, so it just looks awesome. I did see that Nashville was rated like one of the top places in the world to experience New Year's.
Nashville does a really great New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
You worked it quite a few times.
I've worked it
I was
so many
there
times.
with you a few years ago.
I do
again.
never want to celebrate New Year's in Nashville down there.
Thankfully, it's like beautiful out today.
Today.
Like, the weather is warm this year for New Year's.
Every
other time I've gone out in Nashville on New Year's Eve, it has been frigid.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere to go except outside when you're going to the actual like Nashville celebration because the stage is outside.
Everything's outside.
Yeah. And they just pack the streets with people.
But it's fun times, though. I think all of it's fun. Yeah. I always love traveling. I will always want to get back to traveling. I just want to do it in a different way now. I did it for so long solo. I don't want to do it with toddlers, so I'm okay not traveling right now.
No, we'll take them somewhere while they're little.
I kid about little, but there comes a new way of traveling when you have two little people.
Definitely.
You can't just like grab a backpack, hop on a jet,
right,
start drinking at the bar.
Nope.
Get into your
even though you desperately need a drink.
Snuggle into your first class seat and then get so drunk that they cut you off and you spill your drink on your lap.
Yeah, none of that. I haven't had that experience. That would just be a you experience.
It was a long flight.
Yeah, I bet it was. Well, but you're about to get on your first flight in 3 years.
Yeah, so as we by the time that people are listening to this that day, I will be getting on a flight.
We will.
And we will be going to my hometown.
Yeah. El Paso, Texas. I have never been there.
It is an interesting place. I haven't been back so long to where I've actually spent time there that I couldn't tell you what's actually changed. I know like my 4 places that I go to eat and drink at, and as long as those are still there, then I think I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
One day I would like to go back and actually experience El Paso with you, like take us around to everybody.
Things.
Well, yeah, and there's just so many places that are my hometown things. It's like if you were to take me to Falmouth, you would have
I'd have all the places.
We got to go here, and you got to meet this person. Oh my gosh, you got to try.
Have eat at this restaurant.
And then
go see this beach and that beach.
Soon everything would turn into a bar, and then let's go get some.
My accent would definitely come back 100% once I got around my people up there.
We need to get some beers and some. Oh, let's go get some donkeys.
Yeah, dunk. The best.
I will like it because I think there is something very attractive about that, like that Eastern mean.
I was never mean.
Nah, you could be mean. The accent's cool though. But yeah, so we will be on. I haven't been on a plane, so I flew out my last tour 2020 in January.
Yeah, you got back in early March.
Yeah, to South Korea. Went around all of Asia and then down to Australia and New Zealand, and then flew back March 2nd or 3rd, something like that.
Yeah, I think it was the 2nd.
Yeah.
And then the tornado was the 3rd?
Tornado was the 3rd, and then the world shut down the 13th.
On the 10th.
10th.
Crazy.
So I haven't been on, and I had an entire year booked of tours ready to go.
Yeah, you were going to be home for like a week. And
I was
then
actually
you were gone.
leaving the 11th, I think. I was supposed to go to the airport the next morning, and I remember getting a text message late that night, like, don't go to the airport.
Yeah, this gig has been canceled.
It hasn't been canceled yet. We're not using those words yet. But
yeah, but that's what's happening.
Because you have to be careful. You know, in the music industry, you have to be very cautious of who you start to tell is canceling, because the minute that leaks, it could be
also
bigger
for
than,
insurance purposes.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah. If that gets onto Twitter, all of a sudden, all hell can break loose. But I was told, don't get on the flight. And I didn't. And I didn't get on a flight for almost 3 years. So this will be an interesting experience, because though I wasn't a million-mile-a-year flyer or even probably 100,000 miles a year, because I would get on a lot of buses, I would still get on
flew a lot.
I would get on a good majority. I had good status. I had a lot of fun in the airports.
I don't even think I have pre-check anymore.
I don't. I don't even
We're going to be waiting in line.
I don't even. Yeah, which is fine. I'm okay with that, because
maybe I will pay for early bird check-in for us.
It's just one of those things, though. That's just so weird to think, because the airport used to be my escape. Like, it used to be my place where I could go get away from it all. Like, I didn't have to talk to family. I didn't have to talk to friends. And it's not that I didn't want to, but sometimes it was like
it was your me time.
It was my me time. I go get in a lounge. I put my headphones on. What stranger is really going to come talk to me?
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I don't think you and I have been on a plane together since our honeymoon.
Wow. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Even longer.
I know.
And we're about to get on a plane and fly early morning, land in San Antonio, and surprise someone. I just in case they listen, which they probably aren't listening by the time this is released.
I mean,
I'm going to go surprise my best friend.
Yeah, for his 40th birthday.
For his 40th birthday.
You've done such a good job of convincing him that we are not able to go. And we really, for a while, didn't think we were going to be able to go.
I basically told him I hate him.
No, you did no such thing.
Oh, okay.
But you convinced him, and he's like super bummed that you're not going to be able to be there. It's a big birthday. And now, like you said, we're connecting in San Antonio, and his wife is amazing and purposely booked their flights
through San Antonio.
So we'll all end up on the same plane from San Antonio to El Paso.
Dangerous.
And we're going to surprise them or him at a bar, right, in San Antonio near our gate. He's going to be so shocked. I can't wait. I'm going to film the whole thing. Just so I have video proof of the bromance that's going to happen, because you guys also haven't seen each other in over a year.
Yeah, it was funny because he on the phone today, when we talk almost every day. It's pretty funny.
Sweet.
It is nice. You know, I have like two best friends that I from like my childhood. Andy, Neil. You know, it's just, that's the way it's been my whole life. Like, we're still in contact. I talk to Andy a little less, you know, because he's dadding it up with two littles like us and stuff. So he's just a busy guy with project managing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Neil is a busy guy on the other side, but he, you know, his littles are a little bit older, so he has a little more free time to And he owns his own business, and so he gets to drive around, you know, a little bit. It's
Also
a little bit
that.
different, you know, scenario. But we talk a lot, and it was funny today. I could tell at his voice he was definitely bummed that he thinks I'm not going.
I know.
It's awesome.
It's going to be great.
I just kept playing it up too, like, oh, yeah, it sucks. I can't go.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to, but blah,
yeah, like
blah,
we
blah,
looked
blah,
into
blah.
everything. We looked into childcare, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Baby's too young. Too many viruses and things going around.
And I think that when you have someone in your life that, you know, I surprised him for his 30th birthday in Vegas. Same thing. I don't think that he knew I was coming, and lo and behold, there I walked up behind him at a casino.
Yep. Ta-da.
Ta-da!
It's going to be a disaster.
He used the term, I don't know if I'm going to really get that drunk this year for my birthday. And I was like, yeah, you shouldn't. I encouraged it. I was like, you shouldn't. There's no reason to get completely blackout drunk anymore.
Yeah, but as soon as you get there.
The problem is, though, is that when
the two of y'all
get
together are a hot mess.
And El Paso, I think, still, I mean, they're 20 years behind us.
I'm getting so many brownie points babysitting this weekend.
That's how it felt like in El Paso. Like everything just seemed a little bit behind. So like their prices too sometimes are awesome because they're a little behind. It was like $1. I mean, when I was in high school,
you haven't been in high school in a long time.
Yeah, like 20 years now. It was like $1 Rumplemint shots.
Yeah, that's definitely not. Inflation is everywhere.
But I'm pretty sure the last time I went back, it was still $1.
But you haven't been back to El Paso in 6 years? Almost.
Yeah, but still 6 years, $1. I mean, like 14 years.
Has changed a lot.
Can you? I mean, and I'm sure listeners right here, this might, you know, bring up good or bad memories. But I remember being young and going to bars and having $1 beers. Like
yeah, I remember that
necks.
In college.
Yeah, like $1 long necks.
At certain bars.
Now
like
this is
during happy hour.
Yeah, and this is excluding Mexico. We grew up like next to the border, so
right.
Beers over there were like 5 cents.
Right.
Not they weren't that cheap, but they were cheap.
But they were cheaper, yeah.
Yeah, well, you could go to Drink and Drowns for $10. And
what?
They called them Drink and Drowns, and you could drink and drown yourself in booze.
Oh my gosh. I've never heard that phrase. No.
I thought it was like I thought it was in
I've never heard that in my life.
I literally thought that was in a dictionary somewhere. Drink and drown.
No.
I mean, it was dangerous.
It sounds dangerous. I thought you were going to tell me, like, yeah, drink and drown. That's what they call it at every, like, lake or body of water that has a bar.
That'd be horrible.
Horrible.
Advertising
would
that would
also
be
make
bad.
sense. Yeah, advertising that would be bad.
Come drink and drown.
Lawsuit waiting to happen.
Yeah. No, they were called Drink and Drown. Yeah, you go and maybe it's a term that we made up.
You probably did.
I've made up a few terms in my life.
Many.
Yeah.
You make up many around me all the time. And I'm like, that is not a word, sir.
Right. And I'm a writer.
You made one up the other day. Was it you were using the word observe?
And yeah, I can't remember. It was two really good ones.
And absorb or something like that.
I'm an absorber. I'm
observable or something. Like, it was ridiculous. I was like, that's not a word, but I actually know what you're saying.
You know, I don't know why. I think it's because I really do suffer from a small form of dyslexia.
Mm-hmm.
And then I also have for years had a speech impediment because of my tongue ring, which I recently
Which you don't have anymore.
Which I don't have anymore, which is nice, actually.
Mm-hmm.
24 years, 26 years
That's
I had it.
That's crazy.
26 years I had that tongue ring.
That's crazy.
But I took it out. But I will say, though, that it has helped my speech, but it also makes me faster now. I can talk a lot faster. So now mix in a growing vocabulary because now that I'm a writer, I've been really trying to work on, you know, my thesaurusings and my dictionaries.
Okay, here you go, making up words again.
But I try to find not the same word all the time.
Yeah,
and so
synonyms.
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 I love cinnamon. Cinnabon.
I love cinnamon. What? How much champagne have you had already?
Just a couple sips, actually.
I need more.
14 shots of tequila that you were watching. Woo! Woo girls here.
Woo girls.
But flights are. Where were we going?
We're going to El Paso.
Oh, yeah, we're going.
So
to...
I'm actually
drink and
really...
drown. Drink and drown.
Oh, yeah, drink and drown. Okay.
The words, all the things. We're not in Mexico. We're in El Paso.
Yeah.
Inflation, fun times.
I'm excited about going to El Paso because I'm finally going to get to go to Rib Hut.
Oh my gosh.
Which you have raved about this place. Besides getting to see all the people, which I'm very excited that we're going to see all the friends of yours that I've already met, people that I've heard about that I haven't met yet.
Yeah.
We're going to get to see some of your family members and all of those things. Mm-hmm. But Rib Hut, I'm very excited about. It had better be the most off-the-charts, ridiculous, amazing experience because you talk about this place all the time.
It is. But I don't care if anybody else
I love their seasoning and their barbecue sauce because they've sent it to us.
Then you're gonna love it. All I'm saying is, you can have the argument about your barbecue with me. That's fine. I will say that your place is probably good. I will say that Kansas City style is good or Carolina style.
My jam.
Whatever. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
This is just my jam. They do beef ribs. I've been eating there since I was like 13. $1 rib night.
Yum.
$1 rib night, basket of curly fries. Like everything.
Making me hungry.
Oh, like everything about the place rocks. But that's my opinion. I'm going to say that a lot of people agree with me too, but then there's probably a lot of people who are like, nah, I like this other place. Mm-hmm. That's fine. But you're going to experience my favorite barbecue place in the entire world. And I've had...
Very excited.
And I've gone around and I have tried...
A lot of barbecue
because I do like barbecue.
We're going to get some authentic Mexican food over there too, obviously, right?
Oh, for sure.
Is there a burrito place there? Something that you've been literally like prepping my taste buds for the whole time we've been together as far as heat goes?
Oh, there's a few. Well, there's a Mexican joint called Avila's.
That's the one you talk about all the time.
There's salsa, but they are a different style. We're also going to go to a place called Lucy's, which one of my good friends from like middle school, like elementary school. His grandma, I think, started it, and then his dad owned it, and then he runs it now. But Lucy's is one of my favorites.
Awesome.
But it's hard when you have so many places. Like Texas barbecue.
Right.
I mean, think about the amount of barbecue in Texas.
A lot. But we're going to like Mexican Texas.
Yeah, we're going to the tip that people don't really think it's Texas. They just assume it's
That's what I mean.
Juarez.
Like, I don't think of
even
El Paso as being
that,
Texas as much as I think of it being like heavily Mexican culture influenced,
well,
which I'm super excited about.
It's beautiful, and the mountains and everything. It's gorgeous. It's going to be like my first time seeing the Cape.
I can't wait for that to happen one day.
It'll happen, and it's going to be amazing.
We have to go visit Sydney.
It's so hard to explain El Paso because if I was to say, oh, this is my favorite Mexican place, there's places on the east side and the northeast and on the other side of town that are probably potentially better.
Mm-hmm.
But you're talking about thousands of Mexican joints in this town. It's just harder as opposed to like here in Nashville where there's a lot, but nothing
anything like that.
Nothing like that.
So back to
flying.
Oh
yeah,
flying. The first time
it's so exciting.
Forever.
I'm actually really excited.
Are you?
Yeah, because I think flying for one. Like think about it.
We're gonna get there early.
We're humans flying.
We can go to Old Red and get a drink.
Yeah, we'll go all places and get drinks.
Yeah, I mean in the airport.
Yeah, in the airport too. Mm-hmm. Everywhere.
Yeah, Old Red in the airport is what I'm saying.
Anytime I see a place to get a drink, I'm getting a drink.
Get a Starbucks. Get a shot of Bailey's. Pour it in the Starbucks.
Oh, that's a Neil special right there.
Neil special.
But he pours like a fifth in there.
Oh goodness.
Yeah, your boss opened
his restaurant is in the airport, which is really cool.
In the Nashville.
Mm-hmm. So and they have a walk-up bar that you can go to and get a drink and just wander around the airport with a cocktail.
I'm not eating till Thursday anyways, so I'm happy. I'm good. I'm ready. I'm priming the system.
I'm not babysitting you on an empty stomach full of booze. I did not sign up for that.
I'll take some Snickers bars.
Oh, dear. Do you have any funny stories of you being on an airplane?
Oh, my gosh. I mean,
since you used to travel so much?
Yes, yes, I do. And there's one in particular that always is like my what is it called? Mistaken identity story. Sorry. I was trying to think of like the term. Yeah, like I wasn't mistaken on this guy's identity, but he was mistaken on my identity.
Okay,
right? Because I've said, like, well, all right, let me go just like step back. I first started flying, I think, maybe in my teens, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. Always wanted to sit next to the window. As time went on, I realized it's all about the aisle, especially if you're drinking.
100% about the aisle. You need that extra leg space, extra arm space. Easiest way to get to the bathroom.
Yeah, you just
aisle
you have
100% the
you
way
have
to go.
access.
If you are an avid traveler,
but
the aisle is the only way.
But the minute you get into first class, whatever, it's gone. You can sit wherever you want. Enjoy your big seat. Enjoy, your big lounge chair, your
that's
drink.
The same as your big seat.
Yeah, that's true.
Hello, Archimedes.
But to me, flying has always been one of those adventures where, like, I really enjoy it. And so I've always just had a blast on it all the time anyways. So even in a really bad flight, I found pleasure in just getting on the plane, taking off, landing. Like, think about it. We're humans and we're flying.
Crazy.
At 35,000.
In a giant metal tube.
Giant fart tube.
Yeah.
Thing is
disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
Disgusting.
But think about it. People are just farting and burping.
I know. That's why I said it's disgusting.
Horrible.
Archie, leave that alone.
But I've always enjoyed flying. I thought that to me, it's been an adventure. So when you say, do I have any fun stories? Oh, my gosh. I have a lot of fun stories. But one that stands out as like one of those moments that I'm able to tell people this story because it's funny to them too. It's not just fun to me.
Okay.
Because I could tell like a million stories and be like, that sounds just like a normal shitty flight. Like, I kind of had fun. No, so I was either leaving New York. It was somewhere where it was definitely heavily populated with musicians or artists, so either LA or New York, maybe Chicago. And I get my seat in first class. I think I upgraded or something. Fancy. So, of course, I'm already like
fancy,
hoity-toity about everything, holding my pinky high.
I think I've only flown first class one time.
Loser.
So rude.
Hey, I haven't said. I still have a few hours till the new year till I'm nicer, so I can get away.
Is that one of your resolutions, to be nicer?
Yeah.
I'm so grateful.
Like the world is happy that
the world
I'm like
thanks you in advance.
Well, I'm generally getting nicer each year, so this 2023 is.
Man, I can't wait.
2023 is going to be an
even nicer.
Even
Phil,
nicer.
I'm so ready.
Yeah. More
okay, on to your story.
So yeah, I sit down, and I always tried to like when I first started to get upgraded, you had to act cool. Or at least I thought you had to act cool. Okay. You had to look the part. I just started getting like heavily tattooed. So it must have been early 2010s-ish, maybe.
Okay.
And I'm sitting down. I'm eating my warm peanuts. I just washed my hands with the warm towel they gave me.
They gave you warm peanuts?
Oh, yeah. They're like heated cashews. And like it comes in a little bowl that's kind of
interesting.
Heated. Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Peasant shit in the back with bagged peanuts.
Still free snacks. They don't even give free snacks anymore.
Exactly.
Those are the good old days.
Yeah, that's.
I'll take a free bag of peanuts any day.
Southwest used to be the best.
They did.
But like way back when.
Yeah. Moving on.
So I sit down, and in walks this guy. And he's even cooler looking than me. He had like glasses on still, and I can't stand people that wear glasses inside. Like I'm like,
take sunglasses.
Oh my god, take your sunglasses off. Come on, you're not a rapper.
Well, maybe he was.
Only Lil Wayne's allowed to do that.
Just Lil Wayne.
Only Lil Wayne.
He is the coolest.
So in walks this guy, and he looks like he's
also allowed.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg for sure. He looks like he's in the band Foreigner. He has like some ripped. He's older.
Okay.
Looking.
But has a lot of tattoos.
No. Just his dress, his appeal. I was like, oh,
he just looked like a rock star.
I was like, this guy's an old rocker. His hair was kind of silvery. It was kind of spiky.
Okay.
I also probably thought maybe he was like a Jersey dad. Like Jersey Shore dad. I was like, oh, maybe that's
like a blowout.
I was like, oh, maybe that's like the Situation's father or something like that.
There you go.
And
Situation's father.
He walks in and he sits. So I was in the aisle. Like if we were to walk in, we're facing the back of the plane. I was on the right side. He was on the far left. And so we were in the same aisle. I'm in the window, he's in the window, so we're not talking the flight, but we clearly, he made the look.
You've noticed each other.
He noticed me, I noticed him, but his glasses are on, so couldn't really tell if he saw me. Just saw the little head nod, like, He sits down, flight goes, accordingly, we land.
Okay.
They open the doors, we all stand up, and I could feel the eyes, they're on me, but I kind of am looking at him because I'm like, maybe he's a rock star. Maybe he'll ask me if I'm a rock star.
Maybe I need his autograph.
No, I'm not a big starstruck person, but I was curious, maybe I know him through touring because I was touring, obviously, and so I was like, no. Well, it's our turn to like kind of get closer because in first class there's only 2 people that you're fighting bags with, so there's a little more room to stand up as they're opening doors and all that stuff. So we get up and he leans over and he's like, hey, my daughters love your band.
And you're like, oh, what band am I in?
Now you have to remember, like, I did get that a lot, like, oh, what band
still
do you?
do.
I still do to this day, like, oh, what band are you in? If I say artist, or not artist, if I say like I'm creative or in any kind of way, I'm a writer. Oh, like you write songwriters.
Well, like when we were in France, anywhere in Europe, and people just like rolled out the red carpet for us because we just looked.
Yeah, we're all
like a rock star couple or something, and we're like, well, this is awesome because we're just normal people.
This is amazing.
Yeah, in the United States, nobody cares.
and hey, look, I mean, I'll take free stuff all day long. The whole reason I'm becoming a writer is for free stuff.
That's not true. But so the daughters love your band,
and he was serious, like dead serious about it. I was like, oh, and. Though I was into telling stories and lying at the time, for some reason I just couldn't do it. I just was always like, I hate to break it to you, I'm not in a band.
Not in a band.
And I did. I said it somewhat similar in that, like, hey, thanks, but
I'm not in a band.
I'm like, and before I could even get out on my roadie or I work in the industry, he goes, nah, man, that's cool. Like, you can tell me.
And you're like, no, but really I'm not.
He goes, I get it. You don't want to, like he was the, like, definitely the, he was going after me. He was pursuing me to get it out. And I was like, no, I'm not, man. I think I slipped in it like, oh no, I work for them. I'm a roadie. He was like, that's all good, dude. Let's just get a photo for my kids. They're going to be so excited I met you. And I started like running through my head. I'm like, who does this guy think I am? Like, because I don't even think I had neck tattoos at the time. So there was only a handful of rock stars that had full sleeves and stuff. So I'm like, God, I couldn't figure it out. But he clearly was sold. So to change the direction of the conversation just all on me, I chimed in. I said, dude, I'm not in a band. I think what band are you in? Because, he had like ripped jeans. He had like the, maybe he even had like an Affliction shirt on kind of tight.
No. Well, but back when it was popular.
Maybe it was like Von Dutch or something like that, So I'm like, dude, you're the
one that looks like you're in a band.
But he right back in. He's like, look, man. Let's just take a quick photo. I'm pretty sure.
Won't tell anybody.
Pretty sure he was pulling out his like shitty flip. Like back in the day, there was like a 1 megapixel, camera that he's gonna like show a blurry shot to his kids with. And finally, I'm like, dude, I'm not in a band, not taking any photos. I'm like, what band are you in? Like, maybe we work together one day. It's all good. Like, hey, I'll be your roadie. He's like, nah, man, I'm a lawyer. And it just.
Did he ever tell you who he thought you were?
No.
I would assume Travis Barker. I feel like that's who you usually get.
Yeah, that one's a pretty good one. But at that point, the conversation was so done. We were both. It was always funny to me because the way that he like looked. It's a great story of stereotyping.
Yeah, for sure.
He stereotyped me. I stereotyped him, and at the end,
he probably went home to his kids and was like, "Guys, I met Travis Barker, and he was a douche. He wouldn't even let me take a picture with him for you.
This mother ever.
He kept saying he wasn't in a band, and I didn't believe him, and I tried so hard.
They probably burned all their CDs.
They're like, we hate when Blink-182.
Blink-182 sucks now. I'm gonna burn all my CDs.
Thanks for trying, Dad."
But it was one of those moments where I always laughed about it because anytime I walked onto a plane, I could feel the eyes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
And if I passed first class, then clearly I wasn't that famous anymore. But if I was in first class,
then it said something.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
The looks.
All the things.
The judging.
Mm-hmm. Crazy.
The staring.
Mm-hmm.
But the flight attendants always treated me really nice.
Well, that's good.
I did have this one flight attendant one time that made me laugh. I was sitting in the back, and I'd given up a really nice seat for a family to sit together,
nice and
they put me like, I think they put me in the toilet. The dad was like, "No, it's not that bad of a seat. You won't mind it." It was like,
you're like, so I sit in the toilet.
Literally, I just smelled shit the whole time.
No,
but it was a bad flight. But I remember the attendant that saw me do it.
Mm-hmm.
He kept coming up all flight.
Mm-hmm.
It was just like overly nice. He was just like, "Hey man, like, thank you so much for doing that. You didn't have to do that." And I was like, at first I was like, "Oh, I mean, it's just a seat, whatever."
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't really care that much. But then it became like every time he like passed by, he had to stop and talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
So I kept getting like, okay, something else is up.
Mm-hmm.
Sure enough, he like bends down. He's like, "Hey, are you a dancer?"
A dancer? Like a stripper?
No, I think he thought that like I was like
a
band. Like I think he did.
Like a backup dancer?
I don't know. But he was like, "You look like a dancer." I was like,
"That's definitely not something I've ever thought."
That
of
was
you.
an interesting one.
You look like a dancer.
But that was another
a private dancer.
Maybe you wanted a private dance.
Maybe he did.
At the time, I wasn't into it. It was a long flight. If it was a short 1 hour flight, I might have thought about making an extra $100. But yeah, that was a good one. But I get confused a lot. You know, just in general, there's one other time, this one was the weirdest because I didn't have that many tattoos, but I was at a Cracker Barrel and they thought I was Carrie Hart.
Oh yeah, that's another one that you've gotten before.
Told that story.
Yeah, I can see that one more than the Travis Barker. You and Carrie do look kind of similar.
Same nose.
Is that what it is?
Maybe.
I think it's
maybe
the
eyes.
hair.
Maybe the eyes.
Maybe.
I mean the hair. Yeah, the hair definitely.
I don't know.
Either way, he's a great looking guy. So, Carrie, if you're listening to this, you're a stud.
There you go.
Now he's always been one of my favorite dirtbag riders.
I remember
my whole life, so I will always be a fan of Carrie Hart.
Very awesome.
But yeah, the flying to me is fun. I like it. I enjoy it. I know that over the years it's become more of a pain in the booty and the ass to a lot of people just because of, well, I mean, regulations change, things change, security changes. People get more.
We're still able to fly.
People get more drunk, and there's been a lot more fights on flight.
People are
fights on flights.
Wild.
Spirit Airlines. Wild. Every time I turn on the news and there's a Spirit Airlines article, I'm like, all right, who beat who up?
Who beat who up? Yeah, seriously. Threw somebody out the plane window. Craziness.
But yeah, so that was my one funny story from.
Except there were 3.
True.
Well, I'm looking forward to flying with you. I think it'll be fun. It'll be our first time away from our 2 nuggets.
Yeah.
Just going for 2 quick days and come right back. But...
Here we go, Mile High Club.
No, I cannot believe you just said that. That is not happening on a Southwest.
Why are you turning red?
Because it's hot.
I just thought we were trying to work our way to getting 1,000,000 miles.
Not that way.
I think our baby's
Yeah,
crying.
you just upset our baby, so now we have to go.
I love how we both stop. All right, well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Well, we're already in the New Year, but Happy New Year, so.
We'll see you guys soon.
Cheers, bottoms up.
Cheers and bottoms up.
Love you all. Thank you for listening to the show always.
Love you. Bye-bye.
1,000,000 Mile Club.
Woo. Okay, baby angel.